RSMR Media here with our hot takes on Metallica screaming suicide.
Hulkster.
Is it good? Will it suck? Who cares? We'll find out soon. You keep watching, like and subscribe. You know what to do. Metallica! Let's do this thing. Metallica screaming suicide. Run-of-the-mill Metallica. Sounds like all other Metallica. It's Metallica. What else can I say? But it's Metallica. At least it's not saying anger.
So you all know I'm on Team Lyric. I love to understand the meaning of songs and think about what the songs are about. And of course, this song, all the media is about how Metallica has finally, for the first time in their decades of music, talked about suicide. Again, a topic they've never discussed before.
All right, Metallica's new song, it sounds like newer Metallica, obviously, but it sounds like they took some older songs and just kind of switched some of the notes around. A little bit of Creeping Death, Master of Puppets. I'll explain more.
You know what happens when you go last? Everyone makes the points you want to make. So when you do your hot takes, try to go first, because this song is literally just every single Metallica song ever made in one song. It's boring.
Well, I'll go on record to say from the opening riff through a majority of the song, I enjoyed it. You cranked this shit up or what? It was Metallica. I like Metallica. I'm not saying I'm going to compare them to Blink-182. If you recall, we did the Blink-182 edging video.
This isn't even like in the top 25% of their, this is not even the top 50% of their strongest songs.
You guys all said that in that video, if you had to compare it to the rest of the catalog, it was just a Blink-182 song. This is the same exact thing with Metallica. It's just your run-of-the-mill Metallica song. It rocked. It was fast. It had the speed. I'm glad they're back into doing this style of music again, but they haven't come out with anything that was like so, oh my god, except for the last album that they had with Spit Out the Bone and Atlas Rise and all that had a few good songs that brought me way back into the earlier days of the Metallica catalog. But outside of that,
is that Death Magnetic?
It could be.
That album was great. They went back to like thrash and almost even like early. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
John, you mentioned this sounded like Metallica. I don't know if you said it this way, but it sounded like Metallica's old songs put into a blender. You mentioned Creeping Death. I feel like I heard a little bit of Ain't My Bitch from, I think it was Load. What else did you hear in this?
All right, so I definitely heard... All right, so in Creeping Death, that's the one that starts like... Didn't. It doesn't sound exactly the same. Don't get me wrong. It's almost like they forgot they did that riff. And then like Master of Puppets, I didn't hear like distinctive like guitar part, and there's nothing like nothing cool like that. It's like Master of Puppets-esque. However, I do kind of think like maybe that's not a bad thing. To Anthony's point, it does sound like Metallica.
That whole intro pops in, and I was just thinking this is just another generic Metallica song. But I thought it was interesting because they did that, right? It gives you the thought process of, oh, here's another generic Saint Anger song. But then it goes into the cool thrash that sounds like a Garbage Inc. song. So it kind of is like fakesies. And it goes into a more interesting Metallica song.
I'm so glad you mentioned this because, like, John, you said this about the blender. I kept trying to do the same thing. I'm like, I know all these songs. And that's exactly where I went was Garage Inc. And I looked through all the songs and like, you can hear bits and clips of it, but it would be really funny that like Metallica's covering themselves, but like the riffs they're covering are from their cover album. It's like full blown meta Metallica. Yeah. Meta-Alica.
Musically, the guitar solo was pretty lifeless. It was just like a scales exercise or something.
To me, it didn't sound like a traditional Kirk Hammett solo. It sounded, he actually repeats like the same lead, I think 3 times. It sounds more like a traditional like metal lead. And then he kind of goes off and noodles a little bit, but it's not the Kirk Hammett we've heard on, you know, the albums that everyone loves. I completely agree with you. It was something I could have wrote on guitar, and that's not a compliment.
I had that same idea. I was like, this is James trying to learn how to solo. But it was like 2 minutes of it.
Yeah, the timing was good, but it was really generic. I agree with you, John.
Do you think it's possible that Metallica might be at that point where fans just don't give a crap anymore? When Metallica puts out a song, everybody's just going to love it because it's Metallica and that's it.
Wait, they're just reaching that now? I'd say they were there with Reload.
No, not necessarily.
Give me fire.
Give me that which I desire.
So have you been following at all the news about this? Like this single has been talked about all over the internet. So James Hetfield put out this tweet saying how they wanted to address this taboo topic of suicide. And so it's been like Entertainment Tonight or Entertainment Weekly, like all these newspapers and online places where you can tell that these people aren't fans of metal or Metallica are going, they're really excited about this. They're going gaga over this song about how it's so unique. But immediately to me, it's like, wait a minute. Metallica's one of the most famous songs is Fade to Black, which the first couple lines,
There is nothing more for me. Need the end to set me free.
I mean, just make it clear what he's talking about. One, the video is literally about a soldier who's been, blown to bits, but is still alive and is begging for someone to kill him.
Hold my breath as I wish for death.
And then I was thinking, going back to Suicidal Tendencies, poor Robert Trujillo's like, do you remember what band I'm from? They actually had a song. I went back and looked at it in Death Magnetic. The obligatory instrumental they always do was actually called Suicide Plus Redemption. So apparently the word is taboo. That's his word. Suicide is a taboo word that they've been using it throughout their careers. So I don't know what he's talking about. I don't want to be cynical. And I hope that if somebody, obviously, if this song helps somebody think about, not end their life, that's awesome. And that is important. But I can't help but think this seems a little cynical. Like they created this kind of song. It's not terrible. But then they put this tweet out about how it's all about, helping people deal with suicide and think about it. And now all of a sudden it's all over Entertainment Weekly. And it's just a song.
The reason being, though, is because mental health and mental health awareness and all that stuff is a hot topic right now. So what better thing to do is, I got all these new people that are listening to our song and our albums that haven't listened to Fade to Black, that haven't listened to one. They may just be discovering Metallica right now. I check out this new band Metallica I just heard. And then you realize they got 36 albums spanning all the way back to 1979 or something. Who knows?
There's an article, it's like the third link on Google, on Psychology Today, with a psychologist talking about Fade to Black and how people listening to lyrics about suicide and death can actually help them feel better and help them with trauma. So it's like, come on, you've never talked about this before? But I agree with you. I don't know that these people who are writing these articles, I mean, how many of them are really Metallica fans versus mental health is the thing of the week? And again, if this saves someone's life, that is a good thing. But it does feel a little gimmicky.
It's just putting a hashtag out there and making everybody aware that I care, we care, Metallica cares. At the end of the day, it's all about money, anyways.
Surely you jest about Metallica?
How genuine can you write a song about suicide if your lyrics look like this? These are trash. I know Metallica's really not known for great lyrics.
They're known for awful lyrics. As a teenager, I remember listening to what was the song? For Whom the Bell Tolls. And it felt so powerful, even the way they framed it, For Whom the Bell Tolls. And you go back and listen to those lyrics, and it's it's the dumbest song ever written about war. But as a 15-year-old, it was, mind-blowing. On he fights for the right, yes, but who's to say? For a hillman would kill men of five. It's so dumb. It doesn't rise to the level of Hemingway.
Lyric genius when I look these up for these reviews, and people can cite what these lyrics mean. And someone took the time to try to explain these lyrics that needed no explanation because there's no metaphors, there's no similes. I don't know who thought someone needed an explanation on these lyrics, but no one does.
Thank you, Internet.
Whoever you were, you wasted your time, and you can comment to me if you want.
Do you want to plug that website again?
No, because they're not sponsoring us. No, it's genius.com.
Give us that money. John, did you have any thoughts on this?
Are we sure it's about suicide? I mean, I see the lyric that says "My name is suicide," but are we sure? I don't know. I'm gonna check out that Genius site.
I think you're the one who filled in the citations.
That's what he was doing the whole time. Can I just go back and say run-of-the-mill Metallica?
Yeah. Which is an okay thing. Like, we should all admit up front, we are all fans of Metallica growing up. Like, that's probably where Anthony and I bonded over. John, I know you and I, got in trouble for writing like Metallica lyrics and stuff in Bibles at, our Christian school we went to. Yeah. Well, I remember learning to play one on the piano. I was so proud of myself. And then John comes in the next day and he's like, plays the whole thing. Like, fuck you, John.
I think One is one of the first songs I learned on guitar. Maybe.
Fuel's still the best song.
Fuel.
That's my favorite Metallica song.
But like, what is your favorite Metallica song, Anthony?
Motor Breath.
Ooh, good choice. That's old. What about you, John?
Yeah.
It's One. One is on my top 40.
I'd have to say either One or Fade to Black. If I had to choose between the two, I'd probably do Fade to Black. Yea List, Nay List?
Most people are going to listen to this song, and it's going to remind them that Metallica has about 3,000 songs, and then they're going to immediately find the song that they like, and then they'll probably never listen to this again. So I'm going to say
listen
nay.
to their...
You nayed Metallica. I am shocked.
I nayed Metallica.
I am shocked. Well, I'll go next. Honestly, I think the song's... It's not the greatest song. I agree with you. Maybe it's a ploy for the people to, like we all did. What song does this remind me of? I went through probably like 30 songs on Garage Inc. and Load. So I just jacked up their like Spotify, playlist. But just for the thematic element of it, I'm going to take James Hetfield at his word that this isn't a cynical song, but he's really trying to address an important topic. So for that reason alone, I'll say Yea List.
I'll just keep it simple. There's not too much of an emotional resonance, and that's kind of my big thing. So it's a nay for me.
If that solo wasn't ridiculously long and James Hetfield didn't decide to whisper all weird in the mic halfway through the song, I would have said yay. But because of those two elements, this is just a generic Metallica song. If you like Metallica, you like it. It's not for me, man. It's a nay. So in all seriousness, if you're having mental health issues or you are thinking about suicide, please go get help. Reach out to someone. There's tons of hotlines you can talk to, and there's plenty of mental health professionals out there that a lot of them are free to access to. So
we'll put some links in the description as well. Is this song still playing?